Well, welcome to today. I'm working on figuring out why my brand new Sprinter van does not want to regenerate. I'm currently at 124% on the diesel particulate filter, and I have seriously reduced power. And I'm gonna drop it off at Mercedes-Benz. But I'm doing this video to just document what's going on with this Sprinter van. This is the third little issue I've had with this van. The first issue, just to recap for everyone, if you're buying one of these vans, is I had to pinch the fuel gauge line, and it wouldn't show on the fuel gauge if it went past 3/8 of a tank. It's the second I bought it. And then I throw a check engine light on some weird emission situation. And now we're back with more emissions, and I am kind of annoyed because I've had express vans for a long time, almost 20 years. I never had an issue with them, so I'm a little upset, and I want to see how this gets fixed. So I'm gonna just drop off some tools at my client's house, and then I'm gonna head over to Mercedes and see what they say. So hopefully I get there. If I don't get there, I'll be showing you that I'll be stuck on the road somewhere. So let's let's work on getting to the Mercedes dealership. Well, I'm in front of Mercedes, as you can see, and they have to do more tests, and I'll get diagnosis, I guess. But I am getting lifted home. Good thing I have my pickup truck, and I guess today is a loss of a day. But I'll update everyone. We'll see what happens. Oh, there's my van, and I'm at Mercedes, and I just went to pick up actually my video book bag, but I was a minute away, and they gave me a call from Mercedes, and they told me they found a problem, and they said it's something about a kinked hose, some pressure buildup that goes to the regen system, and they're ordering a new sensor and a new hose. But it's a little frustrating that I just looked how much I spent on this van. I actually spent $56,000 on this van in August, and this is the third issue I've had with it, and I'm not even close to my first service. So I just wanted to throw this video out here. I will recap this video tomorrow if I get the van back and everything's fixed. So, and I'll go over the order with everyone. So let me go home, unwind, maybe have a beer, and maybe I'll be in a better mood. But I tell you, the worst thing you could have is not having a truck when you do what I do for a living. It's brutal. Honestly, this is the first time this has ever happened since I started my business 20 years ago. Isn't that crazy? So I guess it's bound to happen, right? So anyway, let me stop babbling, and we'll go over the order sheet tomorrow. Oh, there's my Sprinter van. All right, I'll recap in the van. I've been driving a van, not too much. I'm at 36% on the DPF, which is the diesel particulate filter gauge. Now, that's a gauge on your van. You can get to that, and you can watch it. I have watched it regen on this van, and it's been fine. Only recently, a few days ago, I had the issue. Now, the most alarming, this is the description right here. Look at this. I'm gonna put it in the description on YouTube, in the bottom, so you could read it. And I'm not gonna go over all the codes. You'll read that on the description. Hopefully the algorithm catches the codes, just in case someone does a Google search for this. But long story short, when I couldn't get over 3,000 RPMs and the van was in limp mode, I was at 288% over the DPF, right? That's like insane. Usually it'll regenerate at 100%. So it was almost 3 times. Now, I had any problems with the van until that morning. And I'm assuming I was probably at like 270 something percent. So this is not something that you're going to catch right away unless you're watching that DPF gauge and you're watching it real time. Also, when he did the test, there was several regen interruptions due to temperature sensor upstream of diesel particulate filter. As in, for some reason, the sensor was getting cut off as thinking that the filter was clean, and it stopped the regen. And the reason why that happened was because the tech found a kink in there's a hose that goes to this sensor, which stopped it from regenning. Now, remember I trailered this thing all the way to VIR, you know, when I first got it, like four months ago now. And I remember specifically this fan going into regen a few times. So maybe over time it was kind of crimped and it just kept collapsing from pressure or something. That's what I'm assuming. I'm not sure, but I know regen did work on his van, obviously. For the van has almost 6,000 miles. He did a bunch of tests. There's a bunch of codes, like I said, you'll read that. What he did was he got rid of the hose, and you can't touch the hose. So if you think you're handy and you're going to touch the hose, you can't, because once you mess with it, you need a new hose. So what he did was he changed a new differential pressure sensor, and he replaced the hose, and he rerouted it correctly. So I don't know how it was routed incorrectly. He didn't tell me that. But so far, the van's been good. He tried to regen it manually 3 times. That's how sooty the DPF was. And I hope no one else has to deal with this. But if you are dealing with it, here's a video to tell you what's going on. And lastly, Mercedes-Benz Chantilly. Let me tell you, I've had 3 issues with this van, and they've been nothing but amazing fixing the issues on the van. They felt horrible. I really want to do something for... He's the foreman of the Sprinters. I think he's the foreman of the whole shop that took care of the van. And I lucked out because I threw a code, and he came out to where I was working like months ago, and he called me on his cell phone number because it was on his own time. Okay, so think about how awesome this guy is. On his own time. He's been doing this forever. And I asked him, I was like, listen, do you think I could text you if I have a problem? And he's like, of course, don't abuse it. And of course I'm not going to abuse it. I didn't text him at all until the other day. And I just asked him, I was like, do you think I can make it to Mercedes? And he's like, I think you can. It depends. He's like, if it goes over 160%, you might go into limp mode, which I think I did go into limp mode. Also, what I didn't say is I did not get a check engine light at all until driving. I actually stopped to get breakfast, no check engine light. Then the check engine light went on, even though I didn't have power. It was kind of weird that the DPF went so far, almost to 300%, and no check engine light was on. So that kind of also makes me think that the computer was kind of messed up with this hose. That's this video. I hope if you have a new Sprinter van and you maybe run into this issue, because this was obviously a factory defect, now you know what's going on, because I was like really bummed out. I love the van to pieces, actually. I think it's a great van, but all these little things are kind of killing me. But that's why we have YouTube, so everyone gets gets knowledge. There's more knowledge out there, right? So this is another little sliver of knowledge putting out there in the real world. If you do have this issue, please comment so we know it's not just a once in a blue thing, that it might be a common thing down at the factory, that maybe they're messing up at the factory. Maybe there needs to be like a bulletin put out, because maybe I'm not the only one with the problem. So again, if you like these Sprinter van videos, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.